Nelson Mandela said, quote, "Let there be work, bread, water and salt for all." But Qunu, the Eastern Cape village that was the icon's childhood home, has had persistent water problems this year. Previously, we brought you the story of how the OR Tambo District Municipality failed to fix a simple faulty valve on its water reservoir, leaving taps dry in Qunu. While authorities pledged to remedy that situation, there is some more good news. According to reports, the Water and Sanitation Department is spending some 2.5 billion rand to pipe water into the region. Spokesperson Sputnik Ratau is live with us now to discuss this further. This is definitely good news for the people in that district. Sputnik, thank you so much for joining us. How have they been accessing water services up to this point?
Well, yes, thank you for having us. It has been a battle. There has been, like you were correctly saying, inconsistency in terms of availability because of the pump that there was then offline, obviously, and all of those things. But the municipality, I think, has picked up the fact that they need to be providing alternative sources. That is why, for a while, they've been using water cutting in order to get water to some of the people that are without water at the moment directly from the borehole. But also what is happening is that a new borehole is being drilled about 100 meters away from that old one which had collapsed. And we believe that the flow will be able to assist a lot in terms of making sure that there is consistency in availability of water.
And the good news, Sputnik, is that there is infrastructure being put in place now, and we'll get to the details of that in just a few seconds. But I think the question a lot of people would ask is, why has it taken so long to get this in place, to get this project on the road?
The project is on the road based on where it should be. That is the bigger project. But I think the most important issue was that between March and so on, there was the disjuncture when there was a shifting of responsibility to pay for the electricity for the pump station. And that is where we had the breakage of services, where now the district municipality had to pick up the tab, I beg your pardon, to be able to pay ESCOM. And that time when the payments were not made, then there was no electricity. And obviously, this shows as well that from the water supply point of view, it is important for all infrastructure to be in place, not just water infrastructure, but as well as functioning energy infrastructure, so that the whole system can be able to operate.
Sputnik, as I understand it, there's been 2.6 billion rand already spent on this project. So what exactly does that entail? How far along are you?
There is a lot of work that has already been done in this aspect. And basically what we are looking at is the provision of bulk, obviously, from our point of view. But what we are pleased about is that the district municipality has also taken on directly the responsibility of providing reticulation in the meantime. There is already reticulation that is in place in most of the areas within the Qunu village. But what is happening was that the one scheme that was giving us problems is the Qunu Lwaleni scheme, and that is where we had these difficulties. What we believe is that as soon as we can start pumping into the system, we will be able to have water being carried through the reticulation. But obviously, we also need this pump that is now going to be installed from today to actually start operating optimally. We are made to understand that once the pump has been installed, in 48 hours, the water will begin to flow. Obviously, it is not quick enough for us. As we know that during the minister's working sessions in provinces, he is very keen to make sure that people who have the right, by the way, to access water, do so without any impediment.
How long until the project is complete, Sputnik?
We are looking at the provisions for the 21-22 financials are already in place. From the top of my head, and I could be wrong here, I believe it could be in another year or so.
That's still quite a long time to wait for water, isn't it?
Yes, it is quite a long time to still wait for water, but we are talking about the water that will be piped ultimately. In the meantime, we have to continue to do the alternative sourcing of water, as well as ensuring that, you know, the boreholes that are in the villages actually work optimally, because that is a quick win in terms of bringing sources of water to people in the far-flung areas.